Well, it's a sad day, everyone. I'm sure you all in mourning. Canada is out.
Great.
Tough run. Just take three. I've done the same thing 3 times here. But Jovanni's taken it in stride. He's been a Canada fan since he was a child, and bet heavily
Born
on
and raised.
to win the World Cup. But Croatia full value for the victory. And now we are going to get into a 3-game slate for tomorrow. We have a 7 a.m., 10 a.m., and 1 p.m. set of games for Monday on the 28th. And then we move into the 2 games at, that's Central Time, so 8 a.m. Eastern. And then we move into the 2 games at 10 o'clock Eastern and 2 o'clock Eastern on Tuesday with Iran and USA. So last 3 gamer of the World Cup tomorrow: South Korea, Ghana, Brazil, Switzerland, and Portugal, Uruguay. Let's get into these games. We're just going to screen share some projections. We're going to go through some of the top plays, and then we're going to get on out of here. And we'll probably give you a couple good promos as well. So, Jovanni, how was today for you? Sounds like you had a really bad beat.
Yeah, it was terrible. The goal by Germany really destroyed me. I mean, the only thing I could do is when Spain took the lead, I just quickly logged in and placed a small bet for Germany win-draw results.
Yep.
So that was just to mitigate something. But yeah, it would have been a great day if Simone kept a clean sheet. Not going to happen, though.
Fair enough. All right, well, let's get into it. This is what This is what tomorrow's for. You can make it all back tomorrow. South Korea plus 160, draw plus 210, Ghana plus 200. This is a pretty even match. Say, what are your initial thoughts about South Korea versus Ghana?
I think South Korea is gonna keep more like the same tempo as they did the first match, that absorb and then try to hit some counters. I do like Ghana generally in this spot, but overall in this game, mainly because the final games that we have, it's going to be maybe like 1 or 2 plays from each side, but I have no intention of any stacking.
Yeah, makes sense to me. We have a couple good values here on the Ghana side: Mohamed Kudus and Abdul Rahman Baba, 4,500, 4,200, as well as Andre Ayew, who scored for Ghana against Portugal in their last game, a 3-2 loss. So some really good values here, I would say, with those price points, all above the 2.0 threshold that I like to look at. How many Ghana players is too much if you were to roster 3 of those guys?
I think 2 people from Ghana would be the most for me. I also like Mohamed Kudus. They didn't have so many like indirect set shares, but he did take some of them like on the corners. Mm-hmm. And I think that was partially just because Portugal dominated like possession more, but it would be like a role reversal in this case against Korea. I think that Ghana will have more chances, and Kudus has an opportunity for increased indirect attempts. And then Ayew, direct free kicks he can handle, since his brother, I believe Jordan, is just like the previous game, is coming off the bench. So Kudus I'm fine with. Sidhu and Baba Rahman are good on the wings, again, because they're going to play more an offensive role, I think, from the wings than they were doing as defenders against Portugal. But and then you have the 2 strikers up front, Inaki Williams, or like I mentioned before, Andrew Ayew. I think they're kind of like interchangeable. I wouldn't play both of them together necessarily, but like a Kudus and one of them is fine for a 2-man. If you like your lineups and it happens to correlate with a 3-man stack from Ghana, then mixing in a Sidhu or Baba Rahman works fine.
Awesome, makes sense. What about the Korea side? Coming off a 0-0 draw against Uruguay, which I think was probably a little bit unexpected. We have Song Min with 15.29 points projected, 9,600. Obviously, a pretty safe floor here. Kim Jin-soo and Kim Moon-hwan as well, both defenders on the South Korea side. What are you going to do with the Korea side here up against Ghana?
Yeah, the floor for Son, for Heung-min Son is it's definitely there, but it's not going to be like the asking price for it is too much for me, and he's going to draw ownership on the name basis alone. So for me, I think there's better spots, especially like at those price tags. But as far as Moonhwan's Kim or Jin-soo Kim, I have no issues with one of them, especially as like a one-off option, because they are in a similar game script to their first match, and they're just so good with the defensive metrics, interceptions and won tackles, and then the drawing fouls when they win those tackles. So one of those, I wouldn't go both of them. Again, the defender spot, you can find some more value in the later slates with upside attached to it. But as far as like just because of such a low salary, either of the two Kims on the wing back is a great option. I think if for me personally, it would be like either the keeper with one of them. I have no interest on the offense because again, it goes mainly through Son, and Son is, I'm not going to pay that asking price for him. So it's either one of the wingbacks and the keeper to correlate with a clean sheet, even in a scoreless draw that would benefit you because of their salaries, or two-man from the Ghana side. I mean, my model looks this as a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be like
a 1-1.
Yeah, we're probably looking at a low-scoring game here, or a draw. One play I would suggest that we could possibly get to is forward for Korea, Hwang Wee-jo. He played about 75 minutes last game. He's expensive, and I think probably not going to score. But as a one-off at 5,800, probably not the worst move that you could ever make, especially if you're looking to build out a contrarian spot within an otherwise chalky lineup. But I think we're on the same page here. It's more like some value plays on the defensive end. Same really with Ghana as well. We got a few value plays to mix and match with some really nicely priced and better options in these final two games. So let's move on here. Brazil versus Switzerland, Portugal versus Uruguay as well coming up. Before we do get going on that, just make sure to click on the link below in this description. Bet $10, win 200 if any team scores a goal at BetMGM. It's basically it's called a no-brainer for a reason. You get free money. It's a no-brainer. It's $200 in your bank account. Take the money when the sportsbooks give it to you because they don't give it to you very often. So we have a special deal with them as well where we are able to give this no-brainer offer because I don't think it's going to be around for too much longer. So make sure to take advantage, take your money, and use that money to bet on the World Cup as well. Because basically, if you bet on any pregame money line, and any team scores a goal during the World Cup, you're going to get that $200. They want to give you that money and make sure you bet it again at BetMGM. So we appreciate you guys signing up as well over there. Keep these shows free, keeps us in bet, makes BetMGM like us a little bit and keep these offers going. So we appreciate it. But let's get into Brazil, Switzerland. Brazil minus 220, Switzerland plus 650. Wow, that was a little bit shocking. Neymar out for this one as well. Why don't we hit up the Switzerland side first, and then we can talk about some of the value plays on Brazil with Neymar out as well. Doesn't look like a lot of great value here on Switzerland. How are you attacking this side?
No, I have no interest in Switzerland. Now, if you're going to do a large field GPP entry, Xherdan Shaqiri is the highest floor option. Again, I think Brazil's going to dominate the time of possession, and I think Switzerland is okay with staying back and absorbing and trying to keep this game as close as possible and taking one or two counter chances when it presents itself. So from the defensive side, Widmer and Ricardo Rodriguez, I think are fine for the defensive metrics, but their prices I don't think are low enough because they performed well in their previous match, and I don't think it's adjusting well to at least the money line odds. But it's Switzerland overall. I'm pretty off it now. Again, if you want a one-off like goal hunting option, Mbola is fine. He is fast, but
I was gonna say he's gonna get almost zero ownership at 7,600 against Brazil. Like that is a gross misprice on DraftKings' part. At the same time, like that's kind of what you want from a forward, right? Like if you can get a goal, maybe two, but it's a pretty bad play on the whole at 7,600, projected for just 6 points, and like I don't know, it seems like pretty low odds that he's actually going to end up in any kind of winning lineup, right?
Yeah, and then the forward spot's opportunity cost with some attackers from Portugal and from Brazil. So
right, makes sense. Would you go with possibly like in large field GPPs a Jan Sommer stack, possibly with like a Breel Mbolo or a Shaqiri, and then just kind of cross your fingers and hope that Brazil doesn't score?
Yeah, I mean that's what you pretty much have to do. Jan Sommer, unless Brazil routes them, he could still be optimal because he's gonna see like 5 or 6 shots on target. Giving up 2 goals is not the worst thing for him.
Yep, he is cheap, 3,800. We didn't. I think the last time we recommended a goalie that was cheap, it was either Japan or it was Keylor Navas on Costa Rica. That didn't work out too well against Spain, but it absolutely can work out if you're going to see a lot of shot volume in these contests. Brazil, let's move it on. Brazil. Rafinha, 8,800. It looks like we don't have Anthony projected, but he did come in for Neymar when he was injured last week. Rafinha, 88 at 2.88 value, 25 points. That seems the best price on the slate. Vinicius Jr., Paqueta, Richarlison, like a lot of really good values here. This is the obvious stack spot on the slate. How are you attacking Brazil?
Yeah, it depends on the confirmed lineup, but if Anthony's in, that makes it a lot harder to a stack, which is a good thing because then you can go 2 out of the 4 forwards because they'll run the forward line of Vinny Jr., Rafinha, and Richarlison with Anthony. Now that would, I think, eliminate Lucas Paqueta out of the equation. So, but again, you're going to also be paying. I believe he's going to come in like 1,500, at least 1,500 more than Paqueta. Anthony could take corners on his side. There's no data to back it up, and it could just be Rafinha going back and forth, taking from both indirect sets and free kicks from either side. But it's not like out of the realm of possibilities that Anthony does end up taking very few set shares. Regardless to which, it's Rafinha for me and Richarlison because along with the shot volume that Richarlison gets and the defense, I don't think is that good for Switzerland. Even if they sit back, I think Richarlison still gets his chances. And with Neymar out, he is going to be handling the penalties. I'm pretty confident of. So Richarlison, Rafinha, and I'm fine paying up for the prices because I think there's a lot more pay down spots from the earlier match. Right.
Yeah. So many pay down spots we've already talked about. Rafinha, a really, really good value according to your projections. 8,825 points. That is an insane deal. And of course, Brazil minus 220, the biggest favorites on the slate. So it's looking very good for Brazil here. Just a matter of fitting in the right pieces. Any interest in the defense options here? Alexandro, Thiago Silva, Marquinhos, or Eder Milicio?
Yeah. Again, it depends. I mean, I've seen something like I've seen some projected lineups with what looks to be 3 center backs in the back and one will just slot to the left wing. Then I see some that have Dani Alves in in one of the wingback roles. Dani Alves, I don't think I'd get to. He's obviously really good. Even at his age, he's still performing at a high level. I just don't know how long he'd run and why they would risk running him. Now, the change in the backs, I believe, is Danilo, that he also got injured, and along with Neymar, I believe he's going to be out for the rest of the group stage. Alexandro, I have no issues with. He pushes up. He's the only defender in the back that I'd be confident pushing up, and the crossing volume, and he'll mix and match. He has good outlets to pass to for shot attempts, which will improve his creative shot metrics with Vinny Jr. or in the middle to Anthony if he starts. So,
yep. Makes sense. Good. All right. Well, we got one game left here. We are going to hit up Portugal versus Uruguay. Portugal plus 100, Uruguay plus 310. Those odds are skewed a little bit. I'm surprised that Uruguay is the underdog here, but at the same time, Portugal has a really, really stacked team. We haven't gotten a chance to talk. Before we get into that game, though, make sure to sign up at No House Advantage 21 times. You win 21 times your money, and we have a free $50 deposit bonus. Sign up, click the link, use promo code Awesemo, or promo code Stokastic, get a deposit bonus of $50. Sign up, bet on some of the possible props that we've got there, and you can put them into a GPP contest. Lots of overlay. There's so many good things to like about No House Advantage. So make sure you click on that link and make sure you're getting in there and taking advantage of that free money when the books give it to you. So we love those guys over there, and they are a great partner for us, and we really appreciate it when you guys sign up there and take advantage of all that free money. So. All right, let's get into the final game here. Portugal, Uruguay, POR. Typing it in. Let's start with them because we got Bruno Fernandes, Rafael Guerrero, Cristiano Ronaldo, João Felix, João Cancelo. Man, this lineup is absolutely stacked. I think possibly dark horses to win this entire tournament in my books, but it doesn't look like we have them as great values. I'd say Ronaldo's is 17 projected for 17 points, but 9,200. Bruno Fernandes as well, 17.38 points and 8,600. What are you doing with these high price guys as well? Let's throw João Felix in there too.
Yeah, I mean, Ronaldo is the main reason that I would be off of Son from the Korea side, because Son has a higher floor, but Ronaldo's not coming out until he scores a goal. It doesn't matter if they're up 4-0 or up 5-0. I don't think that's gonna be the case, but he won't leave until he scores. It is not the manager's choice. It's Ronaldo's choice. So, and his shot volume alone, he had 5. What?
I said, tell that to Manchester United.
Yeah, they didn't get the memo. So, yeah, but Ronaldo, he had 5 shots. So. It's in the previous game. One of the shots was a callback for an offside, but
I think we lost Jovanni here, but I think kind of what he's getting at is essentially Ronaldo makes for a great play because he is not coming off the pitch at all. And as well, I think Bruno Fernandes, $8,600, decent price point. Rafael Guerrero as well is going to get some cross equity, 9.7 points. So there's a lot to like here about the Portuguese side, and shockingly, they are both really good favorites. We'll try and get Jovanni back here. Jovanni, are you back?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, you're back. All right, awesome. Fire it up. What do you got for us? I think you cut off about midway through.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's basically Ronaldo has the highest upside, not on the Brazilian side. But then alongside for GPP option, João Felix, at least he's getting active from in the previous game, throughout the midfield, even interceptions, drawn fouls. So I like him as a GPP option. He's not a priority, more like a secondary stack piece for it. And then Bruno Fernandes is it would be, if it's one person only from the Portugal side, then it would be Bruno Fernandes. The midfield, like I had said, I think in the last video, last time Portugal played, Bernardo Silva, I have little interest just because he does take that kind of like backseat role. He doesn't feel the need to jump up and take shot
not the
bombs.
same, the same role as on City, right? Like he's playing a little bit further back, right? With so much attacking talent on this team.
Yeah, and then Bruno Neves is he's sitting back also. He almost played as the center back in the previous match, so his price tag is too much. William Carvalho is a similar situation. He's fine as like a long shot stacking piece, but I think you're better off going to the two wing backs in Rafael Guerrero and Joao Cancelo. Either one is fine for me. Gurriel, just because he's a little cheaper, and they split the pushing up and the offensive crossing volume.
All right, makes sense to me. Cool. Yeah, a lot of options here. I kind of like stacking Portugal as well, and maybe hoping or stacking this game generally. I think that's an interesting option, and hoping that these other games go scoreless or 1-0, and then having a lot of options between these. Because I think if there was going to be a game that was going to be a shootout, it's probably this one. But we will see. Let's move on to the Uruguayan side here. We got Valverde, who played a full 90 minutes for Uruguay as well. Matias Oliveira, Martin Caceres, Rodrigo Betancourt. Those are our top value plays. Darwin Nunez at 7,100, not looking good for us right now. Looks like Suarez was subbed off last game for Edinson Cavani, and Pellistri as well for Varela. So we're seeing a fair amount of substitutions on the top line there, though, or on the front. But I don't know if that was just a case of the fact that it was 0-0, and they were trying to get a little. They were trying to generate some offense there. What are you seeing here that you like from the Uruguayan side?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Darwin Nunez is fine. I think his on target rate is suffering from not being in the as the center striker. And Luis Suarez is it's tough to trust the minutes. Edinson Cavani will come on in the game. I doubt he's going to be replacing Darwin Nunez, barring any kind of injury. So Suarez, even as like a one-off goal hunting option, I can't get to. He's definitely going to draw no ownership, especially because nobody can trust his minutes. So in a GPP,
no ownership though, right? Like people do, like casuals may roster him just because of the name recognition.
Yeah, I mean it's I still think
up 10%.
Yeah, I would say he's gonna fall under 6% or something, because again the forwards are gonna be eaten up by Portugal and by Brazil. Because it's a lot of them you can't roster outside of the forward spot.
Makes sense to me. All right, recapping. Rafinha, I think near lock. Some really good value plays in the Korea-Ghana game as well, and from Korea and Ghana, I should say. And I think that you can probably, supplement some combination of those value plays with some players from Brazil, from Portugal, from Uruguay, punting on Switzerland entirely. What are your top 3 own players from the slate?
Rafinha, definitely. And then Richarlison. I'll just if he doesn't score, then so be it. I'll just lose. But and then for the third one, I would say I wouldn't go. I'm not going to go Bruno Fernandes just because his price is so high. I will go Federico Valverde because he's taking the indirect sets and the direct free kicks for Uruguay. So, and I don't trust Portugal's defense. I do think Uruguay maybe can steal something, find the back of the net. So, and it's a good contrarian play to go with Valverde, who's
game stacking it up. I like it.
Yeah, the one-off option that's going to brace and make it a 2-2 game.
Awesome. Goaltenders, it looks like our top option in terms of value. Lawrence Adizigi on Ghana, 1.8 value score. Allison, probably the top pay-up option. Are you going to be getting to anyone else other than that? Maybe some Jan Sommer and some some low owned and some other stacks?
No, because I think from Ghana and from Korea, you can get enough cheap pieces. You can do even 1 or 2 cheap pieces from there will be enough. And so I'm good with the keeper from Ghana or from Brazil. And I will say to keep an eye out, because I think Allison might be dealing with some kind of injury.
Right.
So just it'll be like today when the keeper from Morocco was he was pulled like right at the lock, and the commentators were calling the current keeper Bono for like a good 30 minutes into the game. They kept saying, "Oh, what a nice play by Bono," and then they were like, "Oh, we realize it's not Bono." Yeah.
We have no idea what we're doing. Yeah, that's a good point. And just Brazil in general, I think with Neymar out, they're going to be forced to make some changes. So I would say almost like make sure you're leaving yourself some options for the Brazil Switzerland game, and then you can adjust accordingly. So that's probably going to be the big edge on this slate. But all right, let's get out of here. We got the 4-game slate coming up with USA Iran as well. Really must-win game for USA. So we'll be breaking that down for you tomorrow. And we will continue on breaking down some of these games and some of these slates on DraftKings and FanDuel as well. And make sure you sign up. We got $24.95 for the whole entire World Cup package, or you can sign up for Soccer Weekly. Great deal as well going on right now. $5. It ends tomorrow. $5 for an entire week of platinum. You can click any of the links that I've talked about today. They're just in the pinned comments of the YouTube video. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
Thank you.